Good morning. Back again with our how-to on this Fusion on your own assignment number 2. So you guys tried to draw this on your own. Hopefully that went well. And if not, if you had any problems or just want to kind of check your work, that's what this video is for. So we are doing this figure 5-101 side cap. Right, so here is our assignment. And you guys have already seen this, of course. Talking about our strategy. To me, this makes sense right here to put on the origin, right? It's kind of the center of our part. Then we have everything lined up with that. And so just thinking about this, it is a symmetric part. And so if you wanted to draw, just half of it and mirror it to the other side, that would certainly work. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I don't know if I'm going to try that. I think I'm just going to use the dimensions as given and kind of try to fly through it this way. So let's head to Fusion. So here we are. I always like to turn an origin on so that I kind of know where I'm starting at and all that good stuff. And so if I think about this, to have it kind of oriented this way, this edge right here is visible from the top view. So I'm going to draw this profile in the top view. That's going to be my goal anyway. So let's head back here. I'm going to right click on this plane to create a new sketch. And we're ready to begin from there. And I think the first thing I want to do is everything lines up right here with this point, and we're going to put that on the origin. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to hit L for line, and I want it to be a construction line. And I want it right on this, but I'm going to start out here quite a bit further. And I'm noticing something else right away, that I need to change my units. I'm in millimeters, and I want to be in inches for this drawing. Right? Yeah, all this is in inches for sure. Okay. So I'll come back in here. I'm going to do the same thing again. Get my line tool. I'm still on the construction line. And I want it here. Zoom out a little bit. Go through that. And I can just end it. And so that gives me a nice little spot for me to draw on. And keep things kind of centered and all that good stuff. All right. So now let's do the arc. And that's at 1.38. And so there's actually a tool. You could draw a circle and trim everything if you wanted. That works just as well. But we're going to go to create an arc, and we're going to do a center point arc. I want right on that dot. I'm going to go down the line. Oops. Down the line, bring it over. I had to turn my construction lines off there. Let's go ahead and put a dimension on that real quick. 1.38 is what our drawing said. And now we have another one. Oops. So we can go, I guess I need to go back to arc here. There we go. I just want to do the other arc quick. So we start that. It goes out past it somewhere. Like that. And we're going to dimension it. And we're going to say 1.38 plus 0.5. Because that's all they tell us right there. And so I didn't really want to do the math in my head. Could have. But I'm just going to let Fusion do that for me. 1.38 plus this. And we've got that going. Okay. And then we can start taking our lines out. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of roughly sketch this shape in there. Excuse me. So I'll just bring it out somewhere out here. A little bit like this. Oops, my line got messed up there. I think I hit the check mark instead. Excuse me. So I just came back to this. I'm going to hit L for line again. I want to go there. We want to keep going. We want to go stop at this one. Alright, so everything's locked in there. First thing I can do is I'm going to trim this out of there. So I hit T for trim and just cut that away. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the same thing over there. So I'm going to hit L for line. Somewhere out over there. I'm going to hit T for trim, and I'm going to trim that out of there. And now we got to add some more stuff here. So let's go back and check out our dimensions. And it says that we want this 7.75 from this edge to this edge. Now you could do that, but what it's not going to do is tell us that we want it centered here. So I'm going to kind of do that in a different way. I'm going to dimension from this to this, and I'm going to say 7.75, but I'm going to say divided by 2. Because that's going to be my 1/2, and you can see that it kind of got me messed up there, right? And a lot of you guys kind of panic at this moment, but I'm just going to hit escape so that I get my select tool, and I'm just going to drag this back over so it still looks the way I want it to. I'm going to hit dimension tool again, whoops, hit the D for dimension, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing there, 7.75 divided by 2, and then we got that kind of looking how we want it to look. Let's go ahead and say that I want this and this to be horizontal. It already is, it looks like, already commanded to be horizontal. And this, okay. Everything's on that line where we want it to be. Alright, and now let's start beginning to say this 0.5, our thickness. So if I hit dimension here at 0.5, whoops. Not 5, 0.5. Okay. And then this needs to be 1.25. Okay. And those, let's see, is that going to do what I want it to do? Yep. That locks that in place, so those turn black. And now I need to say, what else do I need to say here? I need to dimension this, and that's 0.5 also. Okay, then I'm going to use some of this equal constraint stuff. Okay, so I want this, that equal, and I want this equal. And did I tell it I want this and this collinear yet? Those can be equal as well, to kind of begin this mirroring object. And so really I think I've got pretty much everything dimensioned exactly how I need. If we go back and look at this, I'm not going to put these fillets in right now. I don't need to worry about those. I can add those very easily later. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit finish, and then we're going to extrude this. Give myself a top view here. And because these holes are centered, in this from here to here, I'm going to go ahead and do a different kind of extrusion and say that I want it symmetric. And then we can type in 1.5, oops, not 15, 1.5 in each direction, because that's how this works, right? 1.5 up here and 1.5 down there. That was how it gave me the dimensions, right? And if I want to inspect this, I can measure. This should be 3, and it is. Okay, so we're good to go there. Now let's draw our circles in there, our holes. So that's this and this. So I'm going to click right here. I'm going to right click and create a sketch. And then I'm going to draw a circle just about anywhere here. I'm going to dimension that circle first thing. That's 0.75. Okay, and then it needs to be here, and the origin are horizontal to each other. It's right on that origin, so I used a constraint for that instead of dimensioning. And then what it said was from here to that is 3. So now we got to grab our dimension tool, and we're going to go from the origin to the origin of this hole we're making, and we're going to call that 3. And now let's try to use our mirror command here, okay? And so let's see if we can do a mirror. And so it wants to know the object right there. Now the mirror line is this axis right here because we got everything centered. And so I click that, it pops over there just like I need it to be. And now I can hit E for extrusion, and we can select our holes, pull them all the way through, change it to all so we know what it's cutting, hit OK. And the last thing that we have to add then are the fillets and the rounds. And the easiest way to do that is not in your sketch, but just to have this drawn, come in here, and I want this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So that's those 4 edges. And then we also want to do here, and here, and here, and here. And that's a total of 8. And all of those are 0.38. Going back and checking, it says everything's 0.38. This confirms it here. So I've got those. Go to our normal view. Turn off my origin. And then we have to add our properties here. So if we look at this one, Steel AISI 1022 and cast. Easy enough. Right click my body, physical material, move my selfie camera there out of the way. I'm already at metal. Steel ASI 1022. Not stainless. Getting closer. Here's just steel ASI 1022. Click and drag. Close. And now we got to change the appearance. And that was steel cast. Click and drag that onto it. Close this. Open up properties. And you would be good to take your screenshot. And that's your drawing, folks.